Hello, my name's Darren Holmes, and in this video series I want to talk to you about programming the Pololu P-Star 25K50 and 45K50 microcontrollers using MPLAB and the XC8 Compiler. In this video, the second in the XC8 Basics series, I want to show you where we can find the software necessary to run our exercises. So from Pololu, we need to find the USB bootloader utility called pload. And then from Microchip, we need to find MPLAB X, Integrated Development Environment, referred to as an IDE. And we also need the XC Compiler. Once I've shown you how to download these, I'm going to show you how to install them. On March the 17th of 2020, I downloaded the 3 required files in order to use my P-Star microcontroller. The first file that you're going to need is MPLAB, and at the time it was version 5.35. Please note it is a large download at 1 gigabyte. The next file that you're going to need is the XC8 Compiler. At the time, version 2.10 was available, and it's approximately 270 megabytes. The last file that you require is from Pololu, and it's the USB bootloader utility. This transfers your file from your PC onto your P-Star microcontroller. At the time, version 2.3.0 was available. This will work both on the 25K50 and the 45K50 microcontroller, and you can see it's approximately 1 megabyte in size. So now I'm going to show you how to use Google to find each of these 3 files on the internet so you can download them yourself. So to find the MPLAB IDE, just go into Google, type in Microchip, MPLAB download. The first item to come up should be the MPLAB 10 IDE, and it should be from the Microchip website. So just go ahead and click on it. And when the website comes up, what we need to do is scroll down the page until we find the download section. And we're going to download it for Windows, and it's the 64-bit version, and it's MPLAB 10 IDE version 5.35, and it's approximately 1 gigabyte in size. So just go ahead and click on that link, and we get a little box saying we're going to open MPLAB, and would you like to save this file? So just click on save, and that should download it for you. So the next item we're going to search for is Microchip's XC8 Compiler. So just type in Microchip XC8 download, and the first item that should come up should be the MPLAB XC compilers, and that should also be from the Microchip website. So go ahead and click on that link. And once the web page loads, we're going to scroll down and try and find our download link. So here we have compiler downloads, so click on that tab. And we want to download the Windows 64-bit version. So this will be MPLAB XC8 Compiler version 2.1, and it's approximately 270 megabytes in size. So go ahead and click on that link. And once again, we should get the download box. Would you like to save this file? So go ahead and click on Save File, and that should download to your download file as well. So the last file we need to find is the pload utility file. So what we're going to do is go to Google, just type in P-Star 45K50. The first item that comes up is the P-Star 45K50 Mini SV from Pololu. It should be the Pololu website, so just go ahead and click on it. And this is the Pololu website, and this is for the 45K50 microcontroller. So we need to scroll down the page and look for resources. So you can see there's a resource tab, so go ahead and click on that. Now you can see we have some files for downloading. We have the pinout diagram, the schematic, and we have the USB bootloader utility, and we also have the PIC 18F45K50 documentation link, so you're going to need a copy of that too. So the bootloader utility, if you're using Windows, click on this link here. And it's the pload version 2.3.0. It's an MSI file, which is an executable file. So go ahead and click on Save File, and this will also save it to your download folder on your computer. So once you've downloaded the 3 files, they should be in your Downloads directory. The first one we're going to install is MPLAB. So go ahead and double click on it. And it says, do you want to allow this app to make changes to your device? So we're going to say yes. So eventually the setup window will show up and it'll say welcome to the MPLAB 10 setup wizard. So we're just going to click on next. Now you're supposed to read the following license agreement. You have to accept it or you can't install the software. So click on accept and then next. The installation directory, you can change it, but I'm just going to leave it as the default and click on next. You have a choice of how many things you want to install, so I'm just going to leave them all checked. There is one down here that says help improve MPLAB products. I consent to allow the collection of anonymous information. Uncheck that box and then select next. Setup is now ready to begin the installation, so click on next. And because this is a 1 GB file, it will probably take anywhere up to about half an hour to properly install. So at some point it's going to come to the end of installing, and it's going to start installing the communications library. At this point, Windows Security is going to come up, and it will say, would you like to install this device software? So we're just going to do an install here. Eventually it's going to say completed the setup wizard. And you can see it gives us 3 items here with checkboxes. The first one is the XC compilers are not installed, so you can go ahead and uncheck that. It's telling us to go to microchip, so we can uncheck that. And once again, it's going to tell us to go to microchip, so uncheck that, and then just click on finish. Now the next item that we're going to install is the XC8 Compiler that we've previously downloaded. So go ahead and double click on that. Now I'm not connected to the internet, so Windows Defender can't figure out if this file is okay to run or not. So I'm just going to tell it it's okay. So I'm just going to click on run. And the user account control should come up. It says, do you want to allow this app to make changes to your device? So we're going to say yes. So eventually the setup window for MPLAB XC8 Compiler will come up. So we're going to click on that and say next. Once again, you're supposed to read the license agreement, and to install it, you have to accept the agreement. So click on Next. And here we have some choices of what we're going to install. We're going to install the free version, so click on Next. Use the default install directory, click on Next. We're going to apply settings to all users of this machine. And here it says add XC8 to the path environment variable. That's so Windows can find this when you go to use it. So I'll click on that checkbox, then click on Next. It says ready to install compiler. Setup is now ready to begin installing. Click on Next. And this should take you a good 10 minutes to install. So at some point the installation will be complete. It says if you want to use the free MPLAB XC8 compiler, click Next. So just click on Next. And now it is finished, so click on Finish. Now the next item we need to install is Pololu, the bootloader utility program. So double click on it. So it says welcome to the Pololu USB bootloader utility setup wizard. So we're going to click on Next. Now I'm not connected to the internet right now, so I'm just going to click on Run. And this is the Pololu USB bootloader utility setup. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on Next. I'm just going to leave it in the default file folder, so click on Next. Add the bin directory to the path environment variable. We did it for XC8. We have to do it again for the bootloader. So we're going to say Next. And then we're going to click the Install button. Once again, we're going to get this user account control screen come up. So we're going to say Yes. And would you like to install this device software? We're going to say Install. It installs fairly quickly, so it is completed the Pololu USB bootloader utility setup wizard. So we're going to click on Finish. So when you've finished installing the 3 pieces of software, you'll notice you get 2 new icons on your desktop. One will be the MPLAB 10 IPE, or Integrated Programming Environment. The other will be the MPLAB 10 IDE, or Integrated Development Environment. This is where you type your code in and compile it. Now in my next video, I'm going to go through the MPLAB 10 Quick Start Guide, the P-Star 25K, 45K, 50 Quick Start, entering bootloader mode, and how to use PowerShell to load your first program onto your microcontroller. So please don't forget to subscribe so you'll know when this video is available.